Queen Marchesa versus Marwyn the Nurturer. Don't know if I've played Marwyn in 1v1. Let's keep that because we've got a pretty good curve in hand here. Let's annoy our opponent with an Inquisition of Kozilek on turn 1. Oh, a Quirion Ranger is always good to get rid of. Yes, let's get rid of that. Don't want our opponent untapping powerful creatures with that. They still get their Llanowar Elves though. We'll play out a mountain into our Dark Confidant. We've got a pretty low curve on this deck, so I don't mind running Dark Confidant in it. And we may well go for a Vampiric Tutor into a board wipe anyway, or use the Fiery Confluence for a board wipe. Oh, and our opponent drew into a Noxious Revival. That is pretty good, isn't it? It might actually be worth tutoring for some more hand disruption with the Vampiric Tutor on top of the library, and they paid life for that, so I think they just drew back into the Quirion Ranger. Okay, so let's, in response to Dark Confidant, go for Vampiric Tutor, and we'll get into some more hand disruption here. A Thoughtseize should do it, shouldn't it? Yes, a non-land. Duress doesn't. A non-creature, yes, and then the Castigate we can't cast, unfortunately, so we have to go for Thoughtseize here. And we will reveal that and lose a life with Dark Confidant. And it's good having Dark Confidant in play because we don't lose a draw. We don't have double red, so let's go for the Swamp here. And then we can get double red off of the Flooded Strand. Grab a Thoughtseize and make them get rid of the Quirion Ranger again. There is a Lord, a Genesis Hydra, and a Yeva. So let's get rid of the Quirion Ranger again. And now it's a case of trying to accrue some value. We could go for our commander next turn, and then maybe the Fiery Confluence afterwards. We can deal 3 damage to creatures with that. And this gets a plus counter whenever an elf enters. We're not going to block there. Now this thing does not come down with an elf token, does it? No, it doesn't. So our opponent's only likely to get down 1 elf next turn, which means that I'm not too desperate to go for the Fiery Confluence just yet. Let's instead get down some white mana, and we will go for our Queen Marchesa. And this will introduce the Monarchy, so we can start drawing cards, even more cards than we are already drawing. And if we can refill our hand again, then I think it would be good after that to go for the Fiery Confluence. We'll just hold our commander back here. She does have haste, but we don't want our opponent to swing back and take that Monarchy away from us. Oh, this can tap for... I completely forgot that could tap for mana, so in that case, our opponent will be able to go wide on us next turn. If they want to, they'll have to commit a lot of creatures to do that, actually. And we get into more removal anyway, so we don't have to worry about wiping the board with Fiery Confluence. We could just get rid of some low toughness creatures and then use spot removal. If our opponent wants to swing in and try and take the Monarchy away from us, then they can do that. We'll probably just allow it and then swing in with our Queen Marchesa and the Assassin token that we'll get. Not the end of the world if they get 1 card draw from the Monarchy. We don't know about anything other than the Genesis Hydra in our opponent's hand now. We could double block here, but I don't really feel the need to do that. And all it means is that they swing in next turn and take the Monarchy from us anyway. We're going to have to be careful with that Dark Confidant though. We get an Assassin token with the Queen Marchesa. And get into Elspeth, Sun's Champion. I think playing a Clifftop Retreat is an intelligent idea. We can't go in for Elspeth yet, unfortunately. Let's just go widen our opponent and take the Monarchy away from them. Or do we want to leave them with that for another turn? Let's just swing in with the Dark Confidant. If they want to block that, they can. If not, we'll just get the Monarchy back. Yes, they decide to trade the Llanowar Elves. I'm actually fine with that. They can keep the Monarchy for another turn. And we'll just hold up our removal. I think that's okay. And then we should be able to take the Monarchy back next turn and drop the Elspeth. They've drawn into a land. Going to gain a life per elf. Or is that per attacking elf? You gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. Okay, in response we're going to terminate on the Yeva. And we will unexpectedly absent on the other elf. Now our opponent has to play a creature in order to keep us from getting that monarchy back. Probably going for Genesis Hydra here. And that's exactly what they're going for. We know one of the things that they're going to look at on the top of their library because we just put it there. It's a Dwynen Glint Leaf Den. There's a Beast Within, a Mystic, Elvish Champion. Okay. See what they go for. They go back in for the card we just removed. And that bumps the Marwyn up to 4 power, which means it is in range of Elspeth. Getting rid of that. Elspeth can wipe the board of both the Genesis Hydra and our opponent's commander. Then they'll get another draw from the Monarchy. And we will get another Assassin token with haste. Young Pyromancer is not of much use to us, I don't think. Let's play a land and swing in with a couple of Assassins with Death Touch. I imagine they're going to let this through. They do, so we get the Monarchy. And then we're going to crack this. We'll get some red and black mana. Then grab ourselves an Elspeth, Sun's Champion. And we'll tick that down to wipe the board of creatures with power 4 or greater. And that just leaves our opponent with their Elvish Lord in play, which I will trade if they want to swing into our commander. Alright, getting into Garrett, Caller of Beasts. And that's some card advantage for them. We drew into Austere Command off of the Monarchy, by the way. Okay, they are deciding to swing in. They'll gain a life. And they're coming in at us. We will trade our commander with that. Okay, an Urborg is a land drop for the turn, so we will certainly play that. Fiery Confluence can't deal damage to... No, we can't deal that to Garrick. So we're just going to plus Elspeth. We'll go in for that Young Pyromancer. And then we're holding up Disenchant by the looks of it. Going to start taking over the board with our token army here, I think. Do they have to reveal off Garrick, by the way? Yes, it's reveal the top 5 cards, so let's just expand this so that we can actually see what we're doing. We have seen all of these from something other than Garrick. So I think Garrick revealed a Beast Whisperer, some lands, and an Elvish Visionary. Probably went for the Beast Whisperer there. Alright, we get an Abrade as well. We can only deal that damage to a creature, but I'm hopeful that we can continue to control the board now. Not going to see much direct damage from a green player. Out comes the commander again. Oh, they put all the creature cards with the plus ability from that, so they do have Elvish Visionary and Beast Whisperer in play. I think they're minusing this down to put... Okay, that's a shame, our opponent's scooping there. I think they were aiming to put the Beast Whisperer into play, then play the Elvish Visionary, and that would have drawn them a couple of cards. But they didn't fancy their odds there. I think we could have continued to peck away at our opponent and eventually win the game. In creature-based decks, such as Elf Tribal, if you can't keep your elves in play, then you're not likely to win the game. And we did have a couple of board wipes and some spot removal. Let's see what we would have drawn into. A Tech Edge would have been useless to us. And then we would have drawn into another board wipe from the Monarchy. So probably playing our commander again next turn and starting to just swing in and go wide on our opponent. Would have taken us a few turns to get there, but I think we would have got there eventually. A pretty sketchy game there, and losing a lot of life to the elves and Dark Confident, but managed to win either way, as sketchy as it was. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.